Hi guys, thanks for joining me. AmyLee here from AmyLee Online. Today I'm going to give you my top 9 tips on designing your logo for your photography business. These tips can go for any business and they're quite relevant to any business, so you don't have to be a photographer to get these tips and use them for yourself. Now, once you've given a great deal of thought to the name of your business and you believe it speaks to who you are and what you do, then what you need to do is make sure that that name can be wrapped around your client's mind and never forgotten. And this is what a great logo can do for you. Okay, so here's the top 9 things that I'd like you to remember and do when you're choosing your logo. The first thing that you need to remember is that your logo is the first thing that your clients will see when they come across you on the web or on a business card, flyers, advertisements, anywhere at all that you display your logo. To capture their eye is going to be the most looked at element of your business. So please keep that in mind when you're designing your logo. It has to be simple and strong and balanced. Simple being easy to read, being strong, that it's eye-catching, and balanced meaning that it isn't asymmetrical. It needs to be something that can be cut out easily with a pair of scissors. The final product needs to be easily recognizable at a glance. Take, for instance, the golden arches. You know when you're driving down the highway at 25 k's away that if you can see those golden arches in the distance coming up on a long straight road, you know that you're going to be able to stop for some food. So it needs to be easily recognizable like that whenever it's seen or placed anywhere. People need to know, oh, that's AmyLee Photography. That's her logo. I know that that's a glamour, fashion, and boudoir photographer. A big no-no is gradients. I can't stress this enough. Using gradients in your logo design in any way, shape, or form is going to hinder what it comes out like if it's printed on anything. Most of the time, printers cannot pick up that gradient very easily. So try to steer away from gradients. It is quite a big no-no in the logo and graphic design industry when it comes to designing an eye-catching logo. You need something that's easily printed. Please keep in mind consistency throughout the ages as well, and also it is such a key factor over time. Look at the major logos around the world and notice how they haven't changed dramatically over many, many years. You can still look at a Google logo from 15 years ago and it's still very much the same today. It may have altered slightly to modernize it, but it's still the same. The impression and style that you give needs to be consistent with the brand or the vision of your business. So if you are, say, a newborn photographer, the style and impression that you give on your logo needs to be consistent with that. It needs to communicate your promise to your client at a glance so that it breeds a lot of trust with your client. They can see that and they know that it's you. If you're changing your logo and rebranding every 6 months, every 12 months, you are starting over again. You are starting pretty much a whole new business every time you do that. You need to choose a logo, a brand that sticks with you through many, many years. It's okay in the beginning that, maybe you're unsure and changing your logo a couple of times is not going to hurt you too much. But if you have a logo that you've had for 12 months, 2 years, and then you up and change it and then keep changing that every 6 months or so until you get something that you absolutely love, well, your clients are not going to have any trust for you as a business, and they're not going to recognize you when they see it. So they won't know when they come to you that they're actually coming back to you. They'll think they're going to a new business. So you want that referral. You want that trust, and you need to keep that logo consistent throughout time and throughout the brand and vision of who you are as a photographer. If you have a graphic, it needs to balance with the business word and the name. So it needs to be balanced around that. So a graphic designer can help you to do that. If it is a word mark, it should be very easy to read font. Okay, so you want to make sure that the font is very clear and easily read. You don't want an A that looks like a C if you are trying to say a word that starts with A and it may look like it's starting with C. So you need to make sure the font is clear and it's easily read from a distance. Your logo needs to look good in black and white, okay, not grey, black and white. As in, if you are choosing red in your colors, it needs to be a deep red, or a red that's not going to turn grey. It needs, as a photographer, you know that red turns grey in an image, so it needs to look really good when you're actually printing it, because when you print it out or fax it to somebody, it is going to most likely come out there in black and white. So you want your logo to look great in black and white. And you can test that easily by faxing it or printing it somewhere. Now, to choose a color in your logo, remember that your promise, vision, and brand is a good way to help you to choose a color. And you need at least 2 color tables in your logo. Too many colors can be quite distracting to the eye. But it depends on the logo. I mean, Google has 5 or 6 colors, I think, in their logo. So, you know, and that works really well for them. But for your business, you might want to stick to 2 or 3 colors and keep it clean and classic. But that's a minimum. 2 colors is definitely a minimum. Now, my biggest tip here, guys, number 9, it's crucial not to ask the people around you, as in family and friends, about your logo and if they like it or not. Because unless they're studying or actually know about logos, or they're practicing branding and things like that, they're really not going to give you good advice here. Okay, they may not like it because it's not something they would like, but you need to actually study logos and graphics to understand, and branding to understand what works as a logo. What we like it that's pretty might not work as a logo. You have to have a logo that has all of the elements, that gives trust, delivers your promise, communicates your brand, and gets stuck in your client's mind. Okay, now if in doubt, I suggest studying the logos from around the world, all the major brands. Here's some examples. Just at a glance, you could have a look at this and you would pretty much know every single brand without using their name. All of their logos communicate their promise and their brand. So you've got Facebook, you've got Firefox, you've got Pinterest, you've got Rolex, you've got some car brands there, you've got Nike, Mercedes, Apple, Twitter, Starbucks, Target, Coca-Cola. The evolution of the world's top logos are like this. They still are the same. They're still the same, but different. They're still very much similar to what they used to be. They haven't changed that much that they are unrecognizable. So please keep that in mind when you're going through and looking. Go and have a look at all of them. Look up on Google all of the brands, the top brands around the world, and how their logos have changed. And you can see that they haven't actually changed all that much. You can still recognize them. They may just be more modern, but they're definitely very similar to what they began at. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to like, share, and favorite this video. Subscribe to the channel so that you can get all of my notifications of upcoming videos. And please leave a comment underneath and any feedback that you have for me. I love to hear your comments and read them and reply. And if there's any questions that you'd like me to answer, feel free to put the question down there in the comments below, and I will answer those questions for you on my channel at some stage in the future. Stay tuned for Friday's video. It's going to be a cracker. See you soon.